Welcome back, mere mortalites, to another edition of the Mere Mortals in Motion. We've got week 2 of a 12-week running phase, and I'm going to get quite quickly into this. I'm actually going to share the screen, but I'll talk it through as well for those who are not actually seeing the screen for whatever reason, so that makes sure that everyone's able to get the right consumption of information. So I'm just going to be sharing the screen now. As I've talked through in the previously, so I've sort of set out a 12-week running phase. There were some preparatory weeks as well of running all the way through here in the 12 weeks. So I'm currently just showing a bit of a table. Now, week 2 specifically zooming in, we had Monday, which was the more slower run. We had 5 kilometers, smashed that. Wednesday, the interval run. Lately, I've been running them with a backpack, so 6 kilometers. Smash that. Friday, there was a 2 kilometer speed run. So those speed runs at the moment are 10 by 100 meter sprints with 100 meter walks. Killed it. And then game Saturday, which I was planning on doing 8 kilometers, but as you can see, they're yellow. And yellow here meaning I could not make. And I'll talk through about what happened in that particular scenario. So jumping into the individual, the day-by-day play, if you'd like, and we can talk through some learnings as well, folks. So of week 2. So this is actually on the Mere Mortals website. If you want to go and check that out, feel free to do so. That way I'm going through some of the details here, but you can also go and investigate that yourself. So I'll put the links and everything like that available for you to go and check that out. So in week 2, we have the Monday workout. Again, it was some warm-up. This is just to get sort of the lower back and the back up and ready. So that's some scapular retractions, hanging from the bar and lowering the back with a plate, just sort of with standing on top of 2 boxes to lower the back. You're in essence you're holding a plate and trying to lower that plate to the ground, kind of touching your toes, keeping your legs sort of stiff. And if you're up on plates or up on boxes, you can go even lower. Then you've got some power work, so clean and jerks. And this is just some warm-ups into some really low volume, high intensity, high power work. So this is sets of 3, sets of 2, sets of 1, all the way up to 95% of the 1 rep max. Some strength work with bench press, warm-ups, and then 4x7 at 71%. And some accessory work, which is abs, 5 rounds, 15 V-ups, and 5 toaster bars. And then the aforementioned morning run, which is 5 kilometers. Awesome. Got that going as well, which is really good. Tuesday, because quickly, a warm-up of 15 calorie row, 30 seconds of handstand holds. That was 5 rounds of that. Some strength work around the shoulders. So there was just barbell shoulder pressing, 4x12 with 45%. Lots of accessory work, 3 to 4 sets of basically a lot of rope face pulling, lateral machine raises, chest flies, dips, trusted push downs, easy bars, collar crushes, and 50 machine crunches. So there's a lot of upper body work on the Tuesday. No runs, as we sort of talked about before. Wednesday, so there's where we have the intermediate, sort of the runs where it's just much more interval runs. So we have a quick warm-up round, push-ups and pull-ups and ski erg, so 4 rounds of that. Some biceps work with easy bar curl and cable curl. Now, I will call out that at this point in time, I was starting to get some injury into my right arm, specifically my right elbow, sort of the tennis elbow problem that a lot of people sort of experience. So you'll see some of my movement and movement volume is starting to move backwards even more, which then again kind of helps out because I'm trying to focus more on running. So there you go. The world works in mysterious ways. And some accessory works as well, which is just some single legs, wall sits, and leg root bridges. So just doing a few rotations of that. And then the run, which ended up being a 6 kilometer run, 1 kilometer warm up, 4x500 meters at sub 5:45 pace, 500 meter walk. So quite a lot of walking, and a 1 kilometer warm down. So it's 4 rounds of that, 500 running, 500 walking. Thursdays, again, running. It was a lot of legs. So 15 squats, 10 hyperextension, 3 explosive jumps as sort of rounds. I was planning on doing a lot more during that time, but I was both running out of time in that particular morning. So I ended up just doing a CrossFit workout, which is 5 sets, 2 power cleans, 1 push jerk, and then moving into a bit of a metcon, I guess, of 3 sets going every 5 minutes of 40 calorie machine, whichever one you wanted to pick. I think I went the rower, and then maximum unbroken strict handstand push-ups. Now, every rep that you did would be 3 seconds of the set time. And so overall, those 3 sets, my time there was 4 minutes 22 if you want to give that one a go. Friday is usually just a big back workout. Lots of pull-ups, trap raises, lat pull downs, lat rows, machine curls, biceps, some calves. Now, I put quite a few amount of work movements there. And obviously, those can be followed, as I sometimes do, but sometimes I don't. This is more just for myself to know, hey, it's just a lot of back workouts, 4 or 5 sets in a lot of the movements, keeping it between 8 to 15 reps, more around feeling the actual back working. And that straight after that was some speed work. So I'd had 10 by 100 meter speed run and walking 100 meters. This is sort of the stuff that I really enjoy in running. I prefer the much quicker intensity. And so that one was really great. Now, at the bottom, you'll see Saturday. There was no workout, but hold on a moment, folks. We said that I was going to be doing an 8-kilometer run. Well, I'll actually just stop sharing here. So, unfortunately, on the Saturday, there was a couple of things. One, I just wasn't feeling it. 2, didn't want to do it. 3, was running out of time. 4, was a lot of family stuff that was going on. And so I just didn't do it. Just did not do the run. And I actually followed it up on the Sunday where I had originally planned to go and do a few other workouts. So a few other movements, as you say, similar to the previous week. Yes, you might see that I don't in particular have too many rest days off, just how I enjoy it. But I found myself going, I've got to go in and I've got to do this run. I was supposed to do it on Saturday. I didn't do it. Let's back it up. Let's try and get it on Sunday. And it was just, again, the mental game. And I've talked about it in the previous episode in week 1. Again, it flared up in week 2, where mentally I just wasn't there really with it. Few little things would be coming up. So I think around 4 kilometers into it, I could feel my feet starting to potentially swell, potentially be too tight against a shoe or the shoelace. And so there was a lot of numbness that was coming around. It's this mental battle of, I probably should stop. I'll just stop here. It's supposed to be 8 kilometers. I thought that's probably enough. I kept going, but there was just enough little things that would keep popping up, where you have to, and I've talked about this before, kind of battle and get past a small little barrier. And there was just enough little barriers before that 8 kilometers that made me want to go, you know what, I'm stopping here. And what actually made it for me was I got to 6 kilometers. My leg was starting to get real tingly, almost going up to the fingers. And then my headphones that I was wearing actually stopped connecting to my phone, which I'd done a little bit earlier, but I did it a second time and I went, that's it. I'm going to leave it at 6 kilometers. There was some time pressure that I had in terms of getting to something else. You could probably also call it, I'm probably going to call out myself, I probably should have gone there earlier than to do the running that I needed to do so that I could have the time to do it. Like I knew how much it would probably roughly take me to do that run. So again, some learnings there. So specifically here, one, I ended up learning whether it's the shoelace, the tightness, making sure that the width of the shoe, probably need to just investigate, as this, and particularly with the Under Armour black shoes that I have, are they actually good for me to be running in? Are they, they're very, very old. Is it just a case that I had them when I was younger and I don't really fit well anymore? Maybe my feet swell up, maybe something else, maybe it's my running game, but I need to investigate a bit, because if I'm going to be doing longer runs, it's not going to work out with that sort of tingly sensation with like real numbness to the feet. So there's one. And 2, once again, it's the learning of almost expecting that amount of little blockers, little obstacles that will jump out, or at least will be calling to you to stop the run, because I've just not been used to that a lot. I'm used to it being a very intense blocker or obstacle on, hey, you got this massive lift to do, whether it's an Olympic lift or a strength piece or a deadlift or, an intense run, but you can just do it. I have very little trouble in just going ahead and just doing the deed, right? Don't talk about it, just doing it, easy. But when it comes to the repeated nature of running and something around just having to get past that, a little obstacle, another little obstacle, I'm not familiar with tackling them all. And so I go, it's a bit of a challenge. But that's the week that's been. Week 2. Now, I call out a couple of call outs here, because if you want to support what we're doing here, the Mere Mortals podcast or Mere Mortals in Motion, there's a few ways you can do it: time, talent, and treasure. But firstly, talent, I want to call out to people. If you are more experienced at running, because myself, I'm just a mere mortal at running. If you experience that numbness in running, have you got any recommendations? I've showcased my running, kilometers, and they're obviously starting to, it's not huge volumes, but I'm not much of a big runner. Am I going for too much? Am I going for too little? Let me know. You can also contribute, obviously, through treasure. You can send through a Boostergram or be sending through Satoshis in the way of streaming in any of the podcast players out there that enable you to do that. New podcast apps out there enable to do that, such things like Fountain. So send through a comment. I'm able to actually see that direct comment and talk through it, reply to it, see what you're replying through. And of course, sharing it along with friends, whether you're watching this through the video, whether you're listening to this through an audio. let me know as well. Share it across and let me know your commentary. Is this helping our people? Is it not? Again, my outcome here is to be showcasing my training out to the world, out to myself, trying to keep myself quite disciplined on top of what I'm doing and my learnings. And if this is helping someone else, wonderful. If I can structure it in better ways, brilliant. Let me know, because I really need the individuals out there, me Immortalites out there, to help me out in how I construct this. For now, me Immortalites, let's leave it there. That's been week 2 of the running phase. For now, me Immortalites, I hope you're well. 1 out.